Hi, welcome back to the governments of ancient Greece and Rome. This time we'll be talking about the Roman Republic. We'll start off by saying that the Roman Republic started in 509 BC when the Romans grew tired of being ruled by Etruscan kings. And it was in 509 BC that they overthrew the last of those Etruscan kings and set up a new style of government. A government where citizens, large group of citizens, elect smaller groups of citizens to make decisions for them. Once again, just like ancient Greece, we have to figure out who's a citizen and who's not a citizen in this government. Citizens were classified as two different types. First were your plebeians. These were your lower class working Joes, and they made up the majority of the people in ancient Rome. A smaller group of people, known as patricians, had a few more requirements. They had to be, originally at the start of ancient Rome, they had to be male, over the age of 15. They had to come from a wealthy family that owned land, and they had to be born in Rome, but not just born in Rome, descended from the original tribes of Rome. The requirements for citizenship do change over time. Eventually, citizenship is granted to all people of Roman provinces. Later, even male slaves who were granted their freedom could become citizens. And by the year AD 212, all people living within the Roman Empire were granted citizenship. But at least in the beginning here, the part that we're talking about, only those patricians that meet the criteria you see could actually partake in the government. The government of ancient Rome had three branches, which might sound familiar. The three branches were the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. The legislative branch is the branch that had two groups, the Senate and the assemblies. The Senate, 300 members, even though that number varies over time, who advised the consuls and set policies. The assemblies were the ones who made the laws and selected the officials. These were the assemblies of tribes, assembly of centuries, and later tribunes are added. In the executive branch, you had two consuls who led the government and commanded the army. These consuls served 1 year at a time, and every year two new consuls were established. And then you had the judicial branch, 8 judges, or were known as praetors, who oversaw the courts and were also given the power to govern provinces. What bound all of this together was a Roman legal code known as the 12 Tables. The 12 Tables was the basis of Roman law. It established citizenship, and it states the legal rights, economic rights, property rights, and even social rights. Defining, even in the social rights, defining who could marry who, setting out rules and laws like plebeians couldn't marry patricians because they didn't want those two social classes, those two classes of citizens intermingling. So we'll get back to some of our quiz and enrichment questions. Again, pause the video, answer them as you need, research as you need, look up information to help you. First, who could not participate in government at the start of the Roman Republic? So once again, look back at those criteria and figure out who wasn't included. 2, how was citizenship in ancient Rome similar or different to citizenship of early American history? Were there people who weren't incorporated in the early parts of our country as well? And once you've answered those questions, pull that chart out that you had from ancient Greece and add to it some information from ancient Rome. How is the U.S. government similar to that of ancient Rome? How is it different from that of ancient Rome? And if you need a little help with this, hold on to it, because as we get into some other lessons the rest of this week, you'll get some information to help you out. Thanks, and see you soon.